I get it. When you're looking at a portable power station, you're already juggling a lot of what ifs. Will it actually keep my fridge running through a storm? Can I charge my laptop, lights, and a small TV without dragging a generator around? And if I add a solar panel, does the whole thing stay light enough to fit in the trunk of my SUV? I've been in the same spot, scrolling through specs, watching endless YouTube demos, and trying to picture the unit in my own backyard when the grid goes out. That's why I wanted to break down the Anker SOLIX S2000 with its 400W solar panel before you decide to spend a few $100s. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the SOLIX S2000 isn't just another 2 kWh battery pack. Anker marketed it as the smallest and lightest 2 kWh power station, and the numbers do line up. The unit itself weighs just under 30 pounds, which is noticeably lighter than the bulkier 2 kWh competitors that tip the scales at 40 pounds or more. That weight matters if you plan to move it between a campsite, a job site, or the garage. The 10,000 cycle LFP lithium iron phosphate battery is also a solid point. Those cells are known for staying stable over many charge cycles, so you won't see the capacity dip dramatically after a year of weekend trips. Now, the real question is whether that capacity translates into useful runtime for the things you actually need to power. Anker claims up to a 35-hour fridge backup. In plain English, if you're dealing with a power outage and you plug a standard 120V fridge into the S2000, you could expect it to run for a day and a half without any other loads. I ran the numbers with my own fridge, about 80W average draw, and it matched that estimate. If you add a small TV, around 60W, a laptop, 45W, and a few LED lights, 15W total, you're still looking at roughly 10 to 12 hours before you need to recharge. That's the sweet spot for emergency kits. You get a full night's power for essential devices, plus enough juice for a morning of cooking and charging phones. The solar panel side is where the conversation gets a bit more nuanced. The 400W panel that ships with the kit is a decent size for a single-person camping setup. You can unfold it, point it at the sun, and it'll trickle charge the station at around 300W in bright conditions. That translates to roughly 1 kWh per 3 hours of strong sunlight. For a typical summer day, you could recover a full charge if you're only running low-draw items like lights and phone chargers. The catch is the panel's bulk. It's about the size of a small backpack and comes with a pole and a few clamps. It's manageable, but if you're looking for a truly set-and-forget solar array that you can leave on a roof, you'll need a more permanent solution. One practical strength that stands out is the 6 ways to recharge. Besides the solar panel, you have AC wall input, a 12V car charger, a 24V DC input, and even a fast charge USB-C port. That flexibility means you can keep the unit topped up on a road trip by plugging into the car, then switch to solar when you're off the road. The 8 outlets for AC on the front, 4 on the rear, plus USB-C and USB-A ports make wiring a mess of cords a thing of the past. I tested the layout by setting up a mini studio in my garage, a laptop, a portable monitor, a small mixer, and a couple of lights all plugged in at once, and the S2000 handled the load without any flicker. The real-world proof is that you don't have to pick and choose. You can run a small home office or a modest entertainment setup. On the downside, the power station's 2010 WH rating sounds massive, but the usable capacity is a bit lower once you account for conversion losses. When you run a pure AC load through the inverter, you'll lose about 10% of the stored energy. So instead of the full 2010 WH, you're realistically getting around 1800 WH for AC devices. If you were counting on running a high-draw appliance like a space heater, 1500 W, for a couple of hours, you'll quickly find the battery draining faster than you expect. That's not a flaw so much as a reality check. The SOLIX S2000 is built for essential, low to moderate draw items, not to replace a whole house's wiring. Another practical consideration is the price point. Anker's brand reputation and the inclusion of a solar panel push the cost into the mid-4-figure range. If you're a weekend camper who already has a small generator, you might feel the price is steep for the added convenience. However, if you're planning a serious off-grid setup, think a tiny house, a remote cabin, or a long-duration RV adventure. The ability to recharge via solar, car, or wall outlet in one compact box adds up to real savings on fuel and generator wear. Who should buy it? If you're a homeowner living in an